Welcome, my fellow warriors. Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well today. Hope you guys are on your purpose. It's a great day today. And the key, guys, is to continue to stay on your path and your goal. I think I'm at 528 right now. And 51 or 52 days, maybe it's 53, I can't check it, 52 maybe. 52 days in monk mode. And I'll tell you what, I feel great. I feel better and better all the time. This monk mode is tremendous. I think that I've gotten better back to the perspective I had when I was really a small child, before I even started doing any of this kind of stuff. And it's interesting to me, guys, is that once you just kind of forget about all that stuff, forget about releasing, forget about it. It just kind of gets out of your mind. And yes, once in a while you may have an image come across, but it's not that important to me anymore. And I think that that's what the key is, guys, that you can focus on things that are, things that are at a higher level than you're at. And I think that that's the whole key to this whole thing, is that once you start feeling this, you'll kind of know the way you should be. And we've been living in this blue matrix for years, and we think we're in a certain way, and it's because of habits. That's all it's been. It's because of habits. And I think the key is, guys, to realize how beneficial this can be for you. And I preach this at the 1% Club, but a lot of us go back and forth, and I did for years, not realizing the excitement, the ecstasy that you have in doing this. It's almost like you just don't care about that any longer. And I just think that's the way it should be. I just think it's the way it should be. And that's an interesting type of thing, because that's not always the way I looked at things. For many, many years, I looked at things saying, well, if you're not if you're not attracted to women, if you're not doing this, if you're not doing all that, then you must be less of a man. And I think that's a problem. That's a problem. So anyway, I think it's great. Just continue on your way. Continue going forward. We're all here to help you guys. And any way I can help, let me know. I'm happy to help you in this pursuit of excellence that we have. So today, guys, is kind of fitting right into this. First of all, go ahead and subscribe, comment. I always forget to say this sometimes. And let me know how you feel about these. I know I have one coming on John Wayne. I'll probably do that sometime later today, and then kind of move forward to other ones you guys are interested in. This one is actually one that comes from that Think and Grow Rich book, but it's also something I'm going to apply to retention here, and that's the idea of persistence. You need to be persistent. What do we mean by this? All right, well, let's delve into this. So, guys, the whole key to being on a journey, the whole key that I've had in making it 527 days or 28 days, what it is, 28 days I think it is. The idea of that is persistence. You got to stay with it and believe that in the long run, your faith in this, your faith in God, your faith in those type of things will win out. Now, we've all gone through a lot of tough times. Some of us are going through different types of tough times right now. We've gone through other times in our life that's been ups and downs. And the longer you live, the longer you're going to have these ups and downs. It's part of life. They may not all be one thing. They may not all be financial. They may be physical. They may be something else. They may be relational. They may be social, work-related, whatever it might be. You're always going to have things that go up and down, because this is the way life really is. When you look at Jesus, you look at the Lord, you look at things that happen throughout the Bible, a lot of other religious types of texts, you see those type of things are good and bad. There's tragedy, there's success. So it's how you handle that is the key. And certainly the key to all of this is keeping persistent on your goal. This is why we call this a journey. Right? There's times on a journey where a person takes a journey that they run out of water, right? They run out of food. Or maybe it starts raining outside, right? And they're walking along the path, and it's not the same path, right? The path has changed. Maybe it's lost. Maybe they can't find their way. Maybe somehow they got to get direction. So all of these things really apply to what we're talking about, because the bottom line is, in order for you to gain the success you're trying to gain at, you need to kind of look at being persistent, all right? And the whole idea is, do not allow those things in your life to really kind of bring you down to the point where now you're releasing. And I think I'll do a separate video on this one in a few minutes here. But the idea, guys, is that you do not want to let other things kind of get in the way with your persistence. Stay persistent on the goals and the things you're looking to stay consistent with. And that means retention. That means using that transmutation and focusing on something else. As I said, it does get easier at some point, but you've got to hit that point where all of a sudden, almost like any other addiction, you've overcome the addiction. And, releasing is one of those addictions, guys. I'm not sure how else to actually put this, but it's one of those addictions. And you have to be able to overcome that addiction to be able to move forward. And it's a whole nother world when you do that, especially on a consistent basis. Like I said, I don't think about those type of things at all anymore. It's really very fascinating to me, interesting. It's almost like I was when I was 10, 11 years old. And, I hit myself now. A lot of wasted years, what I should have been doing this long time ago. And that's why for you, some of you younger people, younger warriors, that this is the time to do it. So if you're younger, good for you guys. You guys have a lot of years to go with this. Now, I'm going to live a long time, I feel. Just my own art. Not know what's going to actually happen, but I feel like I'm going to live a long time. So I'm starting it now, but I'm 60 years old. So some of you guys at 20 and 30, how many years of success and happiness you have. And the idea, guys, is that, having intercourse, having sex is not the be-all, end-all, right? And so that's something you have to remember when you're on this journey. Keep in mind, it's not the end of the world, right? We're not measured by how many people that you're sleeping with. Even though you got people on YouTube and athletes. I remember, was it Will Chamberlain, an old basketball star, said he's sleeping with 10,000 people. And Ric Flair is talking about he's sleeping with 1,000 people, whatever. People think somehow that's supposed to be a high status, and I did too at one time. But the idea, guys, is that doesn't make anything. And unfortunately, women are finding this out, especially as well in their 20s. They think that a high body count is something that should be something that, is tremendous for you. It's high status. Guys, it's the opposite of that. And who's going to be in a relationship with people who are sleeping with 1,000 people, First of all, you don't even know what kind of diseases you're getting. And second of all, how can you trust a person if they've slept with 10,000 people? You're never going to trust that person in any kind of relationship. And if that's what you really want, you're really kind of barking up the wrong tree by looking at people who have been sleeping with people all the time. So I think this is kind of key when you're looking at being persistent. Think of your long-term goal. You want to have solid relationships with one person. I mean, you look at all the successful people we've had in society, a lot of those people, did not waste their time. Either they did not have anybody, or they basically had one person that worked with them to be able to accomplish all those type of goals. And that's the key to all this too. If you find that one person, bless you, that's wonderful. That's what you got to do. All right? But the thing is if you don't find that some person, don't be wasting a lot of energy. Stay on your goal, stay persistent. So one thing you're trying to do is you're trying to find a way to get somebody that can bring happiness and pleasure. And I think the Lord wants that for you and for all of us. The other thing is you're getting closer to the Lord, all right? I have felt so much closer to the Lord recently. And guys, sometimes the problems you have, and I've gone through this, the problems you have actually bring it closer, right? I have some stress going on in different parts of my life, like you do. But the thing is that those type of things bring you closer to God, especially, and this is what I find, and I'll do I will do another video on this in a couple minutes here. But when you have struggles, this is the opportunity to become closer to your God. This is opportunity to become closer to the Lord Jesus Christ. You're becoming closer because you're now doing those things through retention and through your fasting and things that you do. And I do fasting. You become closer to the earth, to the land, to people, and to your God who created all this, right? Doesn't that make sense? That if you're sitting here and you're becoming closer, I mean, most of our body is water, guys. When you start looking at water and you look at this in your life, you're going to connect to everything else in around you. Instead of being distracted by all these other types of things going on, you're going to be doing things around you. And that's going to be connecting you to that source. And the source is what we're talking about. Who's created all this? Created you, created me, created all these trees, created everything we're seeing, right? All this kind of stuff goes back to the Creator. And I think you have to kind of think about that a little bit and realize that you want to become your truest self. Your truest self is your more efficient, perfect person that you are, right? You are the perfect person. No matter what kind of faults we have, we're the perfect person. Because that's what God's created us to be. In His image, right? So doing all these things, being the fact that you're a temple for God, those type of things are crucial in what you're doing. And I think the key thing, a lot of this is staying persistent and making sure that you're not on the wrong track and going back and forth and being distracted. So persistence is the key thing, my friend, to stay with. And once again, the two things that I'm striving for, at least, is obviously having a great marriage with my wife, and obviously the second thing is to try to be as close as I can to the Lord. All these other types of things to me are inconsequential things. They're important, obviously, money and all these things, but those are the two key things that are most important, especially in the time we're living in right now. All right, guys, I'm going to do another one in a couple minutes here. Until next time, battle on.